Welcome to the basic scripting mini lecture. So the lab briefly touched upon debugging. So I'm going to teach you specific tools that you can use to help with the debugging process. So a brief introduction to this project. We just have a player. You can move around with arrow keys or WASD and then hit space to randomly change the player's color. All right, so the first tool I'm going to be talking about is one that you probably have used since you started programming, and that's just logging strings or objects to the console. So to do that in Unity, we can do debug.log, and then let's do a string, just say hi. And that's going to run the update cycle. So every frame is just going to print hi to the console. So let's see that in action. So you see a bunch of highs being printed. If you want to collapse this, you can just hit collapse, and it's just going to show you the number of highs being printed if you want to be more compact. A common use case for logging is to test if a piece of code is actually running. So what this code does, if the space bar is pressed, we're going to randomize the color. If we were unsure if this was running, we could do debug.log spacebar pressed. Wait for that to recompile. And we can also clear the console if we want to start with a clean slate, and then just hit play. Then when we hit the spacebar, we should see spacebar pressed being printed out. One thing you should be careful of, though, is that when you are running debug.log, what it actually does is it writes text to a txt file. And this can cause your game to be really slow, especially if you're logging in the update cycle. So when you are pushing out a final product, you want to make sure to remove your debug.logs, as it can really slow down your game and ruin your performance. Another use case is to print out variables if you want to check if they have the correct values. But this can be quite an inefficient approach, as you have to change your debug.log statement, recompile, wait for all that, and it can be really slow. A faster method is using VS Code's built-in debugger. And to use this, you can go to extensions, look up debugger for Unity, and install. And this works very similar to IntelliJ's debugger. If you've taken CS61B, you might be familiar with that. You set breakpoints and you step through code. We also have to create a launch.json file. Once you go to this play tab, select Unity debugger, and that should be created and ready to go. So now you can set breakpoints in your code. Like, let's say after the spacebar is pressed, we want to take a break here and then step through the code. And then what you're going to want to do is hit this play button so that your debugger is running. And then once that's going, you hit play. So now I can just play through the game. And when I hit the space bar, it takes me to the code, and I can just step through it and kind of see what's going on. And this panel on the left shows you all the current variables that are within this scope. So this is a lot more efficient than just printing out every single variable, as you just have everything readily available here, and they will change as you play through the game and things change. And something you can also do is you can step into functions. So if I do the step into, it will actually take me inside the randomized color function, and then I can step through, see what the new color is based on the random values, step through that, and then that'll take me out of the function, and then I could just go through everything else like normal. All right, and then we could stop this. So basically that's the debugger tool. You can use it to set breakpoints in your code so that it stops, and then you can just step through individual lines, step into functions, and it will help you locate errors. So hopefully that helps. Use this in your projects, and good luck.